All right, so in this one, man, we're going to talk about the epic backfire of the tragedy pimp RICO lawsuit done by the moron, not bright media intelligence. What's up? What it? Wipe Boy here, back to react on the morons who did this RICO lawsuit. Now, look, I've been saying since this thing came out, the judge is going to wipe his butt with it when finally it hits his hands. But it looks like before even that happens, we already have some malarkey. Now, what's interesting about this whole thing is we're talking about true crime YouTubers. Now, when you talk about true crime and stuff, receipts, evidence, things of that nature. So this is very funny and comical at best. Now, if you don't know, really going to recap this real fast. In the Sebastian Rogers case, in some coverage, there was a couple morons who decided to do a RICO lawsuit, okay? And in an attempt to censor other people who pushed back on the narrative of, putting the father, Seth Rogers, as like a saint or form of God. If anybody had any other opinion other than that, they were almost included in this RICO lawsuit, okay? Now, for the record, I don't think the guy Seth is responsible, did anything to his son. Okay, you're not going to learn any information about Sebastian Rogers on this video, but just to give you a recap of this lawsuit. Now, after the lawsuit is announced, if you will, you have other forms of people on social media via YouTube, like the guy Crime Time Buzz and his wife. I call them Crime Time Rubs because they rub whatever Nick the Clown or Dog the Tragedy Pimp say. And this is comical because as we take a look at these receipts via SF Investigates, like who in their right mind is going up against that dude in any case? God forbid there is a time where I have want to cover a case or something like that, and I have a certain view on the case, I have a certain opinion on it, and if SF is on the opposite side of the thing here, if he has a different opinion on the case, I'm just gonna say fuck that case and move on to the next one because the receipts that he brings is unreal. But True Crime Rubs will try to massage them and push out this info. It's very comical, though, to watch how this thing goes, right? You have these people trying their hardest to censor people, okay? And you have to imagine when this thing is, when this thing is happening, there's a whole bunch of lazy creators, right? That just like, I don't know who the messenger was. Who was the person responsible for doing this? In my opinion, it has to be Nick the Hat or Dog, right? They were the one that were like, look, what had happened is we're going to make this RICO case, right? And all you got to do is sign on here. We already contacted the lawyer and all this type of stuff, and you're good to go, right? And then like they just, it went down the line, right? Betty, she's not like True Crime Rubs, but she does something else, right? When it comes to those people, but they just like signed away, right? You could tell when it got to Brittany J, she's nodded out. She just signed real fast, and it goes down the list, right? But nobody even like dug up to see like what is this about, right? And that's the comical part about it because this is true crime stuff, right? This is true crime. Where's the evidence and stuff at? And so in this receipts here, we're gonna take a look at right now. These people, whoever did the mastermind thing here, whoever said like, look, what had happened is we're doing a RICO, they just like lied. They said this lawyer was going to be representing each individual person, and it was all lies. It looked like it was all lies, and each moron that signed it, right, has now opened themselves up to a whole other can of worms, and you have to love this, right? And just so everybody knows, before we get to the receipts, I'm all for families utilizing the court system, right? If they're getting attacked, if they're getting harassed, if they're getting stalked, right? If they have to deal with tragedy vultures, tragedy pimps, okay, scammers, these fake true crime psychics, any and all combined, if that's what's happening, right, to these family members as this tragedy occurs, sure, utilize the courts, all the way, right? But at the same time, you can't do that, right, to censor the other view of things, right? That's not cool. Especially like if you're all about like if you're all your profile is like, you know, pro Trump and pro Second Amendment and First Amendment and all this type of stuff. Like where is the logic in making sense of this, right? But to we find out here, people, that this lawyer is not even representing any of them. So let's have a okay. So as we are, we're over here on Twitter. Follow SF at SF underscore investigates. Give me a follow too at White Boy Radio. So here we go, people. Receipts. SF says, I have sent 3 communications to Bruce Castor Jr. Now, that would be the lawyer that would be on the RICO case that all the lazy creators just like, they just signed away. There's not an out, there's this and that. Betty sucking. So no one's paying attention, right? Let's do it again. I have sent 3 communications to Bruce Castor Jr. and Joseph Lesniak regarding what appears to be a bogus and fraudulent injunction and lawsuit filed by Not Bright Media and the other plaintiffs. It seems no one wants to go on record about this failed attempt to intimidate others. Not just the failure, but potentially criminal conduct. This situation appears to involve forgery, and each of the plaintiffs is liable because they signed verifications while knowing that Bruce Castor Jr. was not their attorney. From what I have been informed, they did not sign a retainer agreement with him. I don't believe any of them fully comprehend the scope of the legal trouble they now face, as they have committed fraud and forgery against a court. To ensure everyone's clear, here's the names of the plaintiffs, that would be the lazy creators, involved. These individuals are being sued separately and will likely face litigation for years to come. We have Not Bright Media, Dwayne the Tragedy Pimp, Dick Tot Tony, Andra Griffin, Brittany Jackson, Christina O'Donnell, Julia Valencia, Hung, whatever his name is, Nick the Hat. Ooh, Nick the Hat gets it twice. And yes, Seth Rogers is in here. Hashtag fuck around, find out. But wait, there's more. Now, here would be the email correspondence between 1, Stephen Fisher, and 2, the law offices of don't know where the header's at. Anyhow, dear Mr. Castor and Mr. Lazynick, on November 12th, you sent me an email contained within this thread, so he's been communicating with them, stating that the Office of Judicial Support accepted the filing you attached, which was a defective motion for leave to amend in order to add me as a defendant. The motion did not include the proposed amendment complaint. Additionally, the filing in the docket does not contain a proposed amendment complaint. I have emailed both of you multiple times seeking clarification this filing and on Mr. Castor's status and as a legal counsel in this case. Are you aware Not Bright Media and the other plaintiffs have publicly used Mr. Castor's former positions as an attorney general and Donald Trump's lawyer to claim that would be thrown into the RICO charges? To date, I have not received any response from neither of you. If I do not receive a response in this correspondence, I intend to file a formal complaint against both of you with disciplinary board on Monday morning. So SS putting down, this is not making anything to do with Trump look good whatsoever. And that's exactly what they're hoping for, meaning dog and not bright. And then there's see all types of other stuff on SF's Twitter. It's very, very worth a follow. I highly suggest it. But it is comical to watch this unfold. Okay. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, you're not going to learn anything about Sebastian Rogers or anything like that. However, the whole Not Bright Media trying to clap at SF is completely laughable. It really is. And the dude tries his hardest to do it, right? It's comical. I just want to give a good laugh, and I want all you guys in the comments. Is there a finger pointing emoji, or how about this? Leave a whole bunch of poop emojis. Take a crap all up in my driveway for the gullible people, right? That believed this guy Nick the Hat, right, and his intelligence agency recently on the last live I did, I just broke down. He admitted to working for National Enquirer and that credible news agency, right? Then he doubled down, told people it was credible, and then he goes to say, "When I was working there as a reporter, we had a whole social media class." Like, dude, they didn't tell you how to internet beef that well because you're like about as you win about as much with SF as BHB does. Speaking about BHB, she also cluelessly signed this thing. I've never heard, seen, witnessed, saw a clip, anything of BHB ever winning anything on the internet. Every lawsuit she fires off and everything else, she's always losing. Like, it's ridiculous, right? So they got themselves in another hole. We have to sit back now and get the luxury, right? To sit back and watch the backpedal, right, of out of this hole. Because who knows if the lawyer's going to say something publicly, right? But he's got to be kind of pissed. He's got to be pissed because whatever he does is attached to Trump in a sense, right? And then they're like desperately trying to cling on to Trump, meaning Nick and them. So this is very comical. And this is absolutely karma for what they get for trying to censor creators, who trying to bully creators, right, into being quiet. And look, I don't know what SF is doing as far as, well, he's clapping back, but I almost think like he's trying to help people that are on the RICO, right? To drop these gems, right? Maybe he knows them personally, whatever. Maybe he's just clapping back, or maybe this is some 5D like here's a gift, right?
But look, no matter what it is, you should take the man's advice, pick up his clues, and use it, right? I remember so many creators were talking about Sebastian Rogers' case, and they got afraid when this thing came out. True Crime Rubs was trying to promote it. Some other people were. I've always been clowning about it. I remember big and small creators got afraid to even talk about the case anymore. I specifically remember one creator who was doing a live, and he literally gave the family members alternate names as he's covering the case. He didn't want to say anyone's names. He even gave Sebastian an alternate name. Was the weirdest thing I ever seen. Soft. If you got booed, scared, or bullied because of this, the joke really is on you. When it comes to these YouTube lawsuits, unless it's like big time YouTubers with a lot big sub count, this type of legal stuff is completely useless and stupid. It really is, right? And to be honest, it wastes the court's time, right? Uh, you know, you have to really laugh at this desperation attempt. But even more than that, the laziness of not overlooking what you're going to file in the court. Like, who blindly doesn't follow up? If you're going to sign something, you would imagine you've talked to your counsel, right? Who does this? It shows you a lot on this, man. It really does. But hey, man, get them poop emojis in the comments. And man, if you know somebody that got bullied, show them this video, share them this video. It's ridiculous. We should never be able to be painted into a corner like that. And lastly, man, Not Right Media. This guy is not. It's funny to watch him try his hardest with SF. It's just not ever good. He's just epically failing. Okay, he's epically failing, and I'm all the way here for it. I'm going to continue to cover it. We're going to continue to bring to it, continue to react to it because it's funny. It's got to be painful for him. He doesn't get any wins, but there's a lot of gullible people, man, who came over from these Facebook groups on Sebastian Rogers. And I know that your heart is in the right place. I know that you thought this RICO case was going to be so great. And I know that you glorify Nick and put him on a God level. You should do your homework. If that is you, and you don't have to comment, but do you understand, as of like recently, the guy pled guilty to ordering prostitutes on his neighbors and then calling the cops on his neighbors? Like, that is really weird. Is that your advocate? Everybody has a background, everybody has history. I get all that. But there's weird shit there. And you should really do your due diligence and homework on the guy. There's plenty of info on it. Just check out this channel. I'm just saying, don't be the one getting a poop emoji because this is bad. Until the next one, y'all.
What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to my clip channel at White Boy Radio Clips, and in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.